Hello, welcome back. Tonight I would like to talk about King Paimon. King Paimon, it is a character that I have developed for my book called King Paimon, The Lord of the Endless Silence, The Lord of the Abyss. And this recording is part of a playlist where I talk about the book, the writing process of the book, many things about King Paimon, if anyone wants to learn more about King Paimon. Of course, the book is always a good tool, but my recordings speak a little bit more freely about who Paimon is for me, what are his talents, his gifts, the way he is, the way he looks, the way he teaches, and different visions that I had with King Paimon that I talk about while I was writing the book and after. And my connection with King Paimon since I chosen to write the book for him has been very strong, and it is a connection that I will have all my life, so there is a deep love that connects me with King Paimon. There is not one day that passes without me thinking of him, and I see him as my father. He is my true father, King Paimon. His spirit, say, well, he's not in a physical form. I have seen him in my visions, and he has taught me things, he has told me things, and I'm almost like waiting for his return. King Paimon is a spirit of the Ars Goetia, a book of King Solomon. He's one of the 72 spirits of Ars Goetia, or the lesser key of Solomon, where King Solomon wrote the book. It's a grimoire where he describes the 72 spirits. And I have written different grimoires, not only for Paimon. Paimon was my first grimoire. I have written grimoires for other spirits from this book. When we think about, of course, the thematic of spirit, of their knowledge and their wisdom, they're all masters of some type of knowledge or some type of skill. They're very skilled spirits. They have a lot of wisdom. They have their own territory. They have their own mastership in one of or more fields. And King Paimon is one of the highest from them, if not the highest. And in this recording, I will still love to talk about things that King Paimon can teach us. He has taught me many things, and I try to share for others as well about magic, mirror magic, or other form of magic, of skills, how to learn, how to improve, how to require kingship in its own authority or severity for one character or personality. They are all traits that can be trained, and mastership of their own spiritual knowledge, or definitely for people who are interested in the supernatural. And there are some people who carry this wisdom or carry this seed since they are a child. Some develop it later, but I think it's something that's always inside of us now, especially if even later in your life you find thematics like this interesting, as it was for me in my life. It is a lonely road because there are things that I cannot talk with everyone, so it's almost like a topic I don't discuss necessarily with no one. But in these recordings, I do enjoy to feel free and talk about the things that I see, the things I believe, and things that may or not seem real, but are very real to me. So the part of fantasy work that I have through the skill of my writing process of writing my books, my fantasies always has been very strong since a child, and I live in this world as I live in the other, as much as parallel as I can. As a child, I've done it almost like my inner world and my connection to nature and other spirits that I have seen through my dreams, through my daily life, has been more interesting for me than the normal daily life. Somehow I managed to master both, or go through the daily life, but that part doesn't really interest me anymore. Now I always seek more the unseen, or I seek the unspoken, or I'm a voice for those one who are not able to connect to others as well, to say it is a skill that has to be trained. And I think one of the most important tasks for a human being is to believe, and many things or many doors can open once one believes. interestingly, a lot of these doors, say when I speak about spirits or any type of books or knowledge or occult knowledge or anything, there's always a certain type of fear or prejudice or negative thoughts that come, that it's just a programming, it's just the mirroring of our society, want us to believe that it's all evil and we should not be touched or touch, but it's all hot milk for nothing. It's all like a bad joke, because it is not true, first of all, and secondly, it has the meaning to keep us away from knowledge, especially hidden knowledge, and say, well, there's the knowledge that they want us to have, and there's the real knowledge which is hidden, and that's what Paimon reveals that knowledge. If you ever work with Paimon, or if he chooses to work with you, know that it is a special gift that he has for you. So it is not random. The way he chose me to write the book, which I wrote and published on Amazon. If you're interested, you can find it on Amazon. It's called King Paimon, Lord of the Endless Silence, the Lord of the Abyss. It is a grimoire. It's a very large book, which it's all about King Paimon, and many parts of the book is King Paimon speaking himself, speaking with his voice, that I translated for us, that I have managed to receive knowledge from him directly. My father, or King Paimon, is a very special human being, or spirit or supernatural being. In a way, he has been all three, and more than that, he has been human. He is spirit. At the same time, he is a supernatural being. He has abilities that, even as a human, were not for to say, were outside of the human race, outside of the human abilities. So he has always been a supernatural being, even when he was human. And as the title, of course, he's a king, King Paimon. He always appears surrounded by music. That's how you can recognize him. He's always seen through his entourage. He always travels with his entourage, which are many other spirits, and he has two brothers. And he has a lot of magical symbols. He works with fire, the colors red, black, green. He carries robes. He's dressed in long robes. It's almost like you cannot see him, because he represents the darkness. He represents the abyss. He works telepathically. He communicates telepathically, and he works through visions. He will show you visions, things, and it's almost like he works on the mind first hand. He works on the mind, of the ability of the mind to open, to understand, to seek, to acknowledge, to understand, to question, to cultivate. It's all about the mind. So he's very much intellectual, but very much free spirit. He's a free spirit. He's very modern in the way he thinks. He's very elevated and very his knowledge is very, very vast. Tonight I would still like to, this was a little bit of introduction that I always try to do now, to say, well, if you're listening the first time to this recording, you understand what I'm talking about, but the best way to listen to the entire playlist from the beginning, there's a lot of interesting things in each recording that come up when I speak about King Paimon. As I've said, in many I speak about the visions, many I speak about mirrors and the exercises with the mirror, the exercise with the door. There are different occult knowledge that one can integrate through meditation, through any way possible, to almost like open some chambers, open some doors, open some windows, open some different spaces of something that you never knew that existed. And that's very much Paimon's work. He's able to create from nothing something. He represents the abyss, and his teachings are that the abyss is not empty. The abyss is full of potential. Everything comes from the abyss. So in a way or another, he is the father of all, At the same time, he likes the space between. He likes the silence, the void. He says that the true nature, everything that what we seek, is found in the silence. And the mind as well works in the silence, no? It's like when you need to concentrate on something or find an answer, you need silence around. That's the way he communicates the answers to you as well. And the same with the way he works with patterns, colors, many different ways, you know, with music, sounds. There's different way he shows himself throughout exercise or throughout any connection that one can build with Paimon. And of course I can talk more about the book. The book has been a very beautiful process. I enjoyed writing the book so much, especially because the connection with Paimon through that time was very strong, and the visions that I had with him were very special. Felt Paimon very close to me, very unique type of work. I've always written my books about fantasy and fantasy characters, but Paimon has never been a fantasy only to me. He has been always like a very present being, a very present energy that I felt in my room around me. He was talking to me, he was showing me, he was instructing me, he was you know, being there while I was correcting, writing, editing the book. So it almost felt like the book has to be the way he wants it. The book, he was very strict about the way I wrote the book, which parts, how exactly it's supposed to look, what subjects, and so on and so forth. And I worked as a student, no, as a almost like a under his hand, under his knowledge, under his wish for me as well. No, he was training me. I'm very, very thankful for that part, and it did help me later on work on the other grimoires. The first grimoire I wrote was King Paimon's grimoire. After that, I wrote the grimoire of Buea, the grimoire of Gusion, the grimoire of Citri, the grimoire of Barbatos, of Lerage, of Vine, of Vapula, of Lilith, beside Lilith, which is a unique character, no, but all the others are spirits from the Ars Goetia, as I've said. And they're all written in grimoire form, and they all are translation from their own language, them talking to me, and they all have their own unique language, their own unique way to talk. Sometimes they repeat the same thing, at the same time they all have there are some master elements they all carry, you know, there's a certain knowledge they all carry, and they're all very, very different. Even the grimoires, they're very different subjects. And beside that, of course, the grimoire of, as I said, of Paimon is very, very unique. First of all, because it's very large, it's 700 pages and more, and it's very vast, and even that was just a part of who King Paimon is. No, it's King Paimon is his thematic is so vast that one cannot contain through just a book. But it does give a very, very beautiful feeling. No, it does give a very interesting knowledge as well in the grimoire. When one reads about King Paimon, I find his persona, his aura, his characteristics, everything what he teaches, everything what he is, extremely interesting. And I urge myself now in finding more and knowing more about King Paimon, because his figure is always a little bit mysterious. No, I really don't know where King Paimon is now, what he's doing. There's always a waiting period for me as well. And I do hope to connect very soon again with him, and I hope to be able now to receive more inspiration or knowledge or feelings or visions or emotions or anything that has to do with him. And he did inspire me to write another book, actually. One of the visions that he gave me is called The Black Cube. It's a dystopian novel about a futuristic life where suddenly on Earth appears a huge black cube that no one knows what it's about, and it changes the world. It changes many things. No, so he did inspire me to write not only the next grimoires but other books as well. So he does inspire me. Even in his absence, I always feel inspired by him. And I would still like to do in this recording something new, some type of exercise of meditation or some type of knowledge that King Paimon wants to share with us. And what I hear is always knowledge. It's almost like knowledge is a synonym for his name. King Paimon carries a lot of knowledge. He carries the book of knowledge. He carries a crown of knowledge. He speaks continuously. He reads. He has he showed me once a endless library of endless books. I could not see the end of it, only to symbolize the vastness of the knowledge that King Paimon carries, and not only the knowledge itself, but the different theories or the different practice or the different elements or the different thematics that he covers. So even me, it's like when I speak to him, it seems too little. My words are too little to describe his knowledge or his vastness or his authority or his power and everything. So there's a discrepancy, between what I imagine him and know him to be, and my human language is able to reproduce. I feel limited. That's how I feel when I speak about King Paimon. Just to say, well, King Paimon is so elevated that no human can describe him accurately the way he truly is. No, I'm always trying to get closer, but he's always one step ahead. No, very much represents King Paimon. He likes to do things by himself, and he's not a spirit that comes easily. No, he comes when he wants and he goes when he wants. As I said, he is a free spirit. Besides, not only that, he has things that he has to work on. So he has his own agenda. No, he has his own plans. He does things after his own will and desire. It's almost to say the book I wrote or he left for us is the little testimony of who he is. No, it's almost like he came back and he wanted the world to know about him, and then very soon after he left. King Paimon is far away into the future, far away. He travels, and I am waiting for his return. But he said he will return, so I don't know when, but I'm waiting for him, and I'm sure some amazing inspiration or something really special will come out of that as well. Until then, there is still time and space I can talk about the book, and I do like to meditate about it, or different visions or different elements. There's almost like a tranquility that comes with the thought of King Paimon and who he is and who he represents for me. And I think the most beautiful thing is his love for humans, and his intelligence, and his understanding, telling us that the way forward, the right way forward to progress to a better human life, for all, is through knowledge, and it is through breaking some chains and breaking some doors if we need to, making some changes, and being allowed to be the way we are differently, and not be so scared to show who we are, and not to focus so much on the need or meaning or idea of others, but to really seek our own intelligence that it's deep rooted in us. There's a lot to be uncovered from each one of us. We all carry a lot of wisdom that it is not the wisdom in the books, it's not the wisdom that we have been taught. It's our own inner wisdom, our own belief center, our own almost even madness or craziness in stretching out of the norm, and stretching out of the even the morality that stops us to say, well, one idea is so much important to me that I dare follow it no matter where it takes me, even at the cost of being the only one talking about it. That's pretty much what I'm doing when I speak about King Paimon. It's like, who is King Paimon? No one knows who King Paimon is. And to be honest, one of the reasons that I wrote a grimoire and all the other grimoires is because, sure, the book of King Solomon does represent the spirits, but they are seen as demons, as something very negative and very ugly and scary, and not worthy of our touch or understanding. And the more I worked on the grimoire, I have seen their divinity, which they were created by God, and they carry supernatural powers and abilities that had been given by God to them, and they are so high moral and they are so high developed, more than humans, that we should not at least scatter them or paint them in a bad light, or it's almost that comes out of fear, no, that was imprisoned in us, to say, well, they are demons, or they are bad spirits, or they are work of the devil, or anything like that, no, for us to run away, be scared. And interestingly, that's what the spirits teach, actually. They teach one to stand in their own power and have very high morals, and very, almost to say, the demons, actually, if we call them demons, finally, the word that we understand as the demon in a Christian form, it's like the part of the devil. It's very much in a very negative light, no? But the word demon means eternal being. Daemon, it's of God as well. It represents through the name that they are of God, and they are, as the angels are work on the light, they work on the dark. But the dark is not evil. The dark is the part of us that we are ashamed, or we are scared to let others see, but that's where the goal lies, in the shadows, in the darkness, no? And one cannot go through life and understand life fully if we only take the element of light. One has to go through both gates, no? God is made of dark and light. God is not only light as well. So it does get us closer to who we are truly, and it does teaches us, and it does progress us in a beautiful way. And we are getting closer to God when we understand that the duality that we have inside of us. No, we were made in the image of God, and that's meant not only physical appearance, but in the dark and light elements of God as well. And they are made by God, so they all have their own purpose, and they're very valuable to God as well. And they don't work out of that limit exactly as the angels. The demons carry a lot of knowledge and wisdom, and in different shades towards the angels. Angels don't have free will, but because they have to follow God's word, and the demons do have free will, but at the same time that free will, it's very much a straight line for them as well, no? Each one of them has their own territory, their own subjects, and their own strength. They are physically or morally or spiritual very, very powerful, and they're very similar to the angels, but they have, as I said, free will, no? They move as they please as well, so they have their own almost like a more vast way of being, no? They are free in that will, and they are free, no, to decide in some elements or not, and that has a reason why it's like that way. God made them like that. And so at the same time, they are able to work with humans too, no? So they do understand the human nature very much, actually, because they have abilities that humans don't. They all can read minds, can read intention. They are extremely intelligent, and they have abilities, as I've said, that humans don't have. So one cannot put blame on them of who they are, no, and put them away and say, it's something negative, I'm not going to open the door. When actually one should open the door, no? One should have the courage to translate something that seems scary, or open, no, the mind and the soul to learn something new. And I am a firm believer that's the balance of dark and light. It's very beneficial. It's not we say, well, humans do have free will, and one can do bad in the name of light as well in the name of dark. But the purpose of all this should be about knowledge. So it should be about sharing knowledge, learning new things. And as I've said, Paimon is all about improving, our lives, improving the way we see ourselves, the way we understand ourselves, what a human is, and where our role is in all this, no? And almost like our world made us feel like, oh, we're just a vanishing, short-lived type of body, and you know, there's very little known, no? There's very little known of what we understand is what a human is, and what is our role, and why we are here, and what are we doing, and so on and so forth. And it's one of the reasons why I do enjoy to move out of the norm and do my own thing. And I really don't care so much in the explaining others or being understood, but I like to share my wisdom for others, with others as well, no? So I'm happy if it resonates for anyone out there, because, you know, things are never so easy and simple as dark and light, and many things that we have been taught even to imagine dark as evil, and say, well, the Lord of the Darkness must be evil, when in reality it's not. Absolutely not, because the darkness is not evil. Darkness is simply dark, simply something unknown, untouched, or is a seed of potential, or is a seed, or, you know, it has a deeper meaning, but it's not synonym to evil. And none of the spirits are evil. It is true, they don't distinguish between good and evil the way we are, because their moral compass is even higher values, and their morals are even higher than humans are. They don't have the compass of bad and good. They listen to, and they honor their own sovereignty and power. So they are very powerful beings. They are supernatural beings, and they know exactly who they are. And they are, you know, they all have their own personality, their own masters. They are masters of different elements, and so on and so forth. But they are independent. They don't need us humans to understand them necessarily. No, they are almost to say they are so far away from us that some of them don't even have necessarily interest in humans. But that's why I do appreciate when they come through, and I'm happy that I have written the books, because it offers a door to many people now, that to learn something absolutely new that I have created that didn't exist until now in the world, especially when we speak about subjects like this, and when one reads a grimoire on a specific subject, understands even more what I'm talking about. No, it's like, well, one has to do their own research, and one has to read into the thematic a little bit, so they have their own opinion. My role is not to convince no one of nothing. I'm just giving a little introduction, or I'm giving a little knowledge, hin und there, as they say in German, hin und her. But there's a lot of interesting things that I'm still searching. This is just the beginning for me as well. And I love to read the grimoire. Sometimes I feel the need. I go and read from the grimoire of Buer, where it's absolutely amazing, the wisdom he shares with us, the knowledge, and especially to get a glimpse of how Buer is, what he represents, for what he stands, and so on and so forth. It's almost like a manifest book, or they're all like a manifesto of their own beings, of who they are, where they are, what they believe in, what they stand for, what is their secret, what knowledge they have to share, and so on and so forth. No, so it is very interesting, at least for me. And King Paimon is, for me, as I said, the most interesting of all, because he was my first subject. He's my first grimoire, and there's always, when I speak about King Paimon, it's always high honor, very high honor. King Paimon represents high honor, and he gives high honor. He teaches one, how to see yourself, not only see yourself, but be in high honor. How to integrate that part in you, that somehow you have been not taught, or others try to make you small, or anything like that. So King Paimon does give some lost pieces of you back to you. He does reconstruct you in some way or another, and that's even for a purpose that he might have with you in afterwards, sharing this knowledge with others, or in general. The picture of King Paimon is always a large. He always speaks about like the human race, or the human beings on a huge scale, like the the progress of the human race, or the progress of human beings, you know. That's why knowledge is so important, science, or the thematics that we all, you know, as humans have written and learned about for thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe millions of years. You know, we are always trying to get closer to the light, closer to the truth, no? And King Paimon always wants to share that knowledge. King Paimon already has that knowledge. King Paimon has already the knowledge of the past, and he already has the knowledge of the future. And it's almost like we humans live in the present moments, and that's the window, the door that he can bring that knowledge through, no? And he loves books very much. King Paimon is all about books, it's all about knowledge, but his being is a very serene being. He's you know, I could describe him as an intellectual. He's seeking his own knowledge, most importantly, you know. So he has his own, as I've said, his own agenda. He has his own script. He has his own pleasure in working or not, or doing things or not. As I said, the demons or the spirits have free will, and you cannot convince them of nothing. No, you cannot trick them. You cannot pursue them. You know, it's not a human. They cannot be tricked. They are elevated, highly intelligent. But there are certain minds in the world, no, that they can resonate with, that they are open enough to understand their own language, or the way being, the way they work, the way they express, the way there's always need some type of translation, either from language or from an image, from a vision, from a color. So it's almost like there's the need of a neurodivergent mind, you know. I haven't been normal, as I've said from the beginning. My life hasn't been as of the others from the beginning. There's a biography that we all carry, and those who have had it different or harder, or just, you know, the way we are is just different. That's where the gold is. That's what King Paimon teaches. Now it is not a way to say you're different means it's less, or no, it's actually the other way around. It is our quality. It's our I would say we carry more senses than others. We carry more, even say, neurons than others, because we have experienced things, and our gateways, or our neurons, or our beings, our senses, our mind, everything combined works and has different reactions, different reflections, and we can see the world differently. So it is not the same, you know. In general, we are not all the same, but some carries since a child, no, through our life, through our own biography, elements in ourselves that carry some of these very unique abilities. And I think it's a great gift to have, and especially to work on that and recognize them as a very unique skill or skills that one can live life very unique, in a unique form, no, and being free in the way that one is, and not necessarily have to conform. We don't want to conform. We could pretend like we are the others, but what's the fun in that? No, we know that the fun is on the other part, on the other side. And I you know, I have been criticized, or I have been made fun of so many times. You speak like this, your hand moves like this when you talk. You know, many times the way my personality is that I go away immediately if someone is not a nice friend to me, no? I close the door forever. Interestingly, when I was younger, I could do that easier, and later in my adulthood, I almost gave more chances, but I've learned that no, there is no need more chances. One chance is enough, no? Because it's almost like they are jealous on something they see in you that they don't have, but they feel that you are different, and they cannot understand it, or they're too lazy to understand it, or they feel threatened by it, or they feel jealous they don't have it. There are many reasons combined, and then they poke the fun on you, and so you feel bad. So you know, in my case, for me, to to make me sad, to make me less than what I am, no? And say, well, if humans have tried to do that to me, it's almost like my father, King Paimon, always, has formed me and say, the luck is on my side always, the gift is on my side always. No one can take that away from me. And the moment I acknowledge it, I am more powerful, no? I don't seek power, not in any way, but it's a natural reaction, no? That I am more resilient. I'm very resilient. That's what those experiences made me be more strong in who I am, because their fun or jokes were so low level that I would say, well, if you make fun of me the way I express myself, then your mind is obviously very closed to not understand, no? How beautiful being different is, and one who loves you will never see the difference, no? Will just see you, because that's true love, which unfortunately very few humans can love truly, no? But there is always a celebration. One has to celebrate those moments, because that's the moment I found myself. That's the moment I chose myself. That's the moment I chose to walk alone in my pride, because pride is not bad, no? And say, well, the Christian laws, don't be prideful. Don't say, well, I do, because I love my pride. I am prideful because that's my moral compass. I love myself, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I am prideful in who I am, not in a negative way, no? I'm not putting anyone else down, but I do celebrate myself, no? So there's a security in oneself, and I think life teaches us different manners, different ways. My essence being is actually not non-competitive and non-conflictual at all. I'm a very peaceful, soft soul, very much connected to nature, and I just love to sit by myself in nature. The most beautiful moments I had in my life were by myself, in nature, or with animals, or just working the things I love. And I do look for, search, for people as me in the ways that I do enjoy, of course, to connection with others, especially when it resonates, it brings so much joy, my soul comes to life. But those people are very rare. There is not a lot for me out there, in a way, I know, no? And I have accepted that in my life. Before I was felt sad about it, or I've tried to change it, but that hasn't been my road, because my road has been, well, a more quiet, silent road, so I can meditate, so I can write on my books. Writing in general is a very lonely type of activity, no? Because I sit by myself hours and hours and days and weeks and months, where I need to be my own inner world, and I have to do the work as necessary, no? And I do appreciate that, it's almost like the things sometimes we suffer for, we learn to appreciate later if one knows how to use the tools rightly, no? They say a negative becomes positive, the dark becomes the light. That's what King Paimon teaches as well, no? That from the darkness, from that sorrow, from that being different, from that not finding myself, not knowing, no? One is help. King Paimon does help. King Paimon is there with you in those moments, and he will always give you more that what was taken. And not only that, it will give you that part of you that you were searching, actually, no, from the beginning. So it's not so much about the others, it's very much about us. And I can only recommend the connection, no, to a spiritual life, or anything that you believe in. It doesn't have to be my belief, but I do encourage people to think for themselves and not be scared, or not necessarily believe so easily everything, no, to search their own path, because that's how you say the unique part of your life journey is to be different. No, you are not born to be as all the others are, and I don't understand why humans try so much to be as the others or copy others, because that's not divine. No, it is not what God has meant for us. That's what I believe, and it really doesn't matter if somebody makes fun or not, or someone has a different opinion, they're obviously not working on themselves. That's why they don't understand, no, the path. They don't have to understand the path. Even I don't understand my path, no, and it's not no one's business to try to understand my path. But I am searching. This important fact. I am working on. I am on it. I'm willing, no, even to get lost if I need to, just to get to the place I have to, or to get the result, no. So King Paimon always celebrates the bravery, the elements of uniqueness, being different, doing the work. As God as well too, no. There's always a reward. There's always a potential, a benefit, a progress. There's always something that will reach you on the other hand. And one of the most beautiful things for me is to know that I'm not alone, even if physically I'm alone. I feel more at ease, or more supported by the supernatural part of the world, or the spirits, or how we want to call them, than human beings. Now I feel more alone with human beings than I am alone by myself when I am with my spiritual thoughts or my spiritual beliefs. Now I find myself more at home there. And you know, we all have our unique path in life and unique interests, and we all should celebrate ourselves and try to learn from one another, and not be closed off to something that we've never heard. For me, I've never been so. I'm always, if there's something new, something different, something interesting, I do like to know more about it if I feel that in that moment. I'm not following a trend. I'm not pursuing knowledge for the egocentric feeling of being superior. Not at all. I don't care about things like that. You know, I'm always more a person who always puts myself in the minus so I can get to the plus. No, I'm not a person who necessarily sees myself in a high light and I'm so great. Not the way I always see the others greater, and I see myself small. In the same time, no, I do know my own power. I do know my own greatness, or I always try to go back to it. Or, you know, I see both elements part of my journey, and both paths are deeply, you know, important, and they all bring me to the place that I have to be now, to say, well, the feeling of not feeling so well and not feeling so great maybe motivated me, and I wrote a book, no, then I feel great. So there's always a transformation. There's the power of alchemy, no, that Paimon is teaching us through this recording as well. Well, from minus I can do a plus, and from plus I can subtract and make a minus, and from 3 I can go to 7, and from 7 I can go back. There's always nothing's really fixed, no, that nothing's really it's finally the way we react to it, the way we choose, no. That's the key. That's the golden the lucky ticket, no. And the part of loneliness, or the part of being lonely, or the part of not necessarily being so much in the world, definitely has its rewards, especially for people who, you know, are more like dreamers, or people who like writing, or activities, any activity that is more silent, no. I think that silence one is more close to God, because we are more close to ourselves, and we do carry the divine spark that God gave us, and the more one feels himself into that divine beautiful light of their own soul and their own calmness and their own beauty, that's the moment we are able to touch God. That's the moment we are able to feel a sense of happiness, no. And it takes away the world around, and it gives back to us something that's so beautiful and so unique. And that's the recognition, no, of our true self finally. And there's many things that King Paimon teaches, and I will do this in a different recording. I will stop this one for now here. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, all the best. Bye.